Welcome to Journey to Novelist. This channel is devoted to new writers and those writers new to pursuing the goal of becoming a published author. This particular playlist, we are looking at writing software for creative writers that want to have some software to help them write that is under $60. And that is $60 for either a year's worth of subscription or less than $60 to buy the software outright to use perpetually. So today we're going to be looking at two web-based offerings. They are Novel-Easy and Noveler. Now, Novel-Easy is the younger, I believe, of the two softwares. I know that Noveler's been around for at least 4 years, and I think Novel-Easy is much younger than that. It has some growing to do. So let's first look at Novel-Easy. Now, I'm showing two icons here on my desktop, but one thing to note is that these icons are not something you're going to have when you sign up. I created these particular shortcuts and made them icons on my desktop in order to remind me that I do have these two options available, and just for this video so that you can actually see what we're going to be working on. So let's look at Novel-Easy. Now, I have their website brought up here in a browser. And this is the sign up page. It gives you that this is noveleasy.com, and you can sign up for free. And they give you some basic information about the software, that it's 100% free to join. And when you join, you can jump right in and start on a project. It's very easy to get started. It breaks your story down into chapters. And you have some options to handle some formatting. They give you some statistics, although the more detailed statistics are part of their premium package. So for the free version, you're just going to get something very basic. You'll basically get the monthly calendar, which you'll see here in a bit. And then it gives you the ability to actually download your writing to a text-based file that you can have on your local drive, your local computer, to store it so that you can continue working on other things. It is, like I said, 100% free. If you look at their facts page, if you go over here, you'll see that the free version limits you to 10 novels. And when you go to the premium plan, you get 100 novels. And also here it mentions chapters. For the free version, you can have up to 100 chapters per novel. And in the premium, you can have up to 8,000 chapters per novel. Now, this might sound like a lot. It's like, why do I need 100 or 1,000 chapters? And the thing is with this particular program is they don't have a breakdown for scenes. So it's likely that you will want to use your chapters to actually break your story down into scenes rather than chapters, and you will simply call them chapters. So that's why you might want more than 100, so that you can actually use them as scenes rather than the full story chapters. So let's go ahead and jump into the actual software, which I also have open in a browser. So I have played around a little bit with this. So this is once I've logged in, and I have two dummy novels here. And if I look at my statistics, this is where I'm saying that you have some statistics. Right up here, it tells me I've written 20 words today and how much writing time I actually had. And if I look on the statistics, it gives me this calendar, and it shows me the days I wrote and how much I wrote those days, and then gives me a little bit of word count here. So this is a lot simpler version of statistics than what the premium version would have. It doesn't have all the graphs and things that the full premium version would have. So let's go back here to novels. You'll see that I just have novels, stats, the blog, my profile page, and an area to log out here. If I hit the Novel-Easy icon, it always takes me back to the beginning here. And if I hit novels, this is the page we're on here. So I have 2 novels listed here, and I have the ability to delete them. So I could just hit this delete button to get rid of one of those. Yes, I'm sure, and it's gone. So if I'm on the free version and I was at my limit of 10, I could just delete a novel I didn't want. Or I can actually go in and edit my novel, and it opens it right up so I can start writing. So let's go back to my novels again. If I wanted to create a new novel, I would just go ahead and enter the title here. And there I have a new story started. Now I have 2 options for how the writing pane looks. And I can get to that by opening this little menu here to the side. And I have 2 themes. Default, which is this white background, or I could go with the typewriter theme that looks like a piece of paper with a coffee stain on the side, and it has just a quick little menu here. The title, which I could go ahead and edit the title right here if I wanted to, and then I can edit the chapter title. And then right here, I can just go ahead and start writing. And you'll see if I misspell a word, we have the underline for the misspelling. And I could just right click and choose the correct word if it's here, or I might be so far off I have to actually fix it myself. If I needed another chapter, then I could just hit this add chapter button right here, and it asks for a new chapter title. So maybe this is chapter 0 before we start. And then over here on the side, I can drag and drop my chapters into whichever order I need to have them. Now I'm going to go ahead and take and add a bunch of text in here. I'm just going to paste some Lorem Ipsum in here. So maybe that's my chapter 1. And maybe this chapter was not chapter 1. Maybe it needs to go below. After all, I could go ahead and drag it. And then I have these buttons here I can use to jump to the section. I can add image links if I need to, so I could actually insert an image here. And this is going to go ahead and put an image that Novel Easy has as a placeholder. But if I had another one, I could put that in as well. I have the ability to bold things, which in this particular writing screen, it just uses some codes of the double asterisks for the bolding. And if I italicize something, it uses single. If I go to reading mode, it will actually show the bold and the italics and the image that I have linked. This is a default image that Novel Easy has. That's the image. And then I could go back to edit mode if I need to. So When I'm ready to, I can go ahead and download my text through the links up here. I can download it as HTML or as Markdown. So I just hit that and it would go ahead and download it. And I could open it in this Office program, and there is the downloaded text. And I could go back to my novels, and here we go. There's my novel. It tells me when I last modified it. And if I look at my statistics for the day, my word count is now 612. That's because it's the lorem ipsum in there. And it gives me my writing streaks and today's word count. The profile just lets you put in your first name and last name, and to change your password if you need it, or to delete your account. If you're ready to delete a book, maybe you've already have 10, then like I showed you earlier, you can just hit the delete key and delete it. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one that we had, Lorem Ipsum, and it's gone. Now you might be wondering, how much does the premium version actually cost? And if we go here to the Go Premium area, you'll see it says the premium version is $20 per year, so that is below our $60 budget. And it tells you a little bit about what you get for that $20: more statistics, the extra number of novels, and more chapters per novel. And as they add features, they will be quite a few that they hope to have as premium features. So the separation between free and premium will probably grow as the software matures. So this is Novel-Easy, and you go to noveleasy.com to get to this software. So I'm just going to go ahead and log out of that, and that was Novel-Easy. If you're interested in it, you can try it out for free, and you will find the link in the description for this video. Now the other one is very similar to Novel-Easy, and especially when it first started out, it didn't have much more than Novel-Easy has now. But it is called Noveler. And I have a page open that is about Noveler here, and it has a place to log in or sign up, and it gives some information about Noveler. And you will see here that over 74,000 writers have written, and how many projects. They show you somewhat of what their writing statistics page looks like, and they let you know that they do have some courses that you can take, that they work in conjunction with Pro Writing Aid, and then they get to the information on their pricing plans. So they have this starter version that is completely free for up to 5 projects, and it stores your versioning for 7 days worth of versions. You have writing goals, and there's the writing courses that you can get to. They have one of them is free. They have an online writing community. They have a full screen focus mode and a dark mode, and then they have 2 paid plans that can include everything the starter has, plus some other things. In fact, the Plus plan, which is what we're basically going to be looking at today, has an unlimited number of projects, 30 days of versioning, some extra writing analytics, and has some commenting features available. It costs either $5 a month, which would make it $60 for a year's subscription, or $4 a month if you pay yearly, which is a 20% savings over the monthly cost. And that comes out to, I believe, $48. So we're going to be looking at the Plus version. And the Pro is out of our price limit, so we're going to ignore that for today. So I have gone ahead and logged into my version of Noveler. I have used this program in the past, so I do have some projects in here. And you'll see we have a dashboard that it comes into that lists your projects and your writing streaks. It lists your goals if you have some set, your word counts, and words written for the day. It has a little thing about courses you might like. They only have a couple of courses so far, but I'm sure that number will grow as they continue to grow. So let's start at the bottom here. The bottom is a publishing thing. So once your project is done, you can create an ebook from your project. And it's pretty easy. I already did it once, where you just say create an ebook. Right here you can say create. You can search for which one of your projects you want to create a book from. Maybe I wanted to do this one. You could upload an image. I just uploaded a dummy one here. This is not really the cover for this book. It tells you how many chapters you have, and you can just say create book, and it will have created a EPUB for you that you can download. So I could open it here, and this will open it in that WPS software. Download it, open it, and this is what the EPUB looks like. So that's one way to make sure that you don't lose a project, is to actually create an EPUB for it, which also helps if you want to go ahead and read it like you would a normal book as part of a review. And then you can just hit the delete key to get rid of the EPUB if you want to. The Academy section is where they have their writing courses. So you have the free course, which is the Couch to 80K Writing Bootcamp, and that one is free. And then they have some other courses here that are fairly reasonably priced. Here's one for a nonfiction book proposal, and here is one to help you rediscover the joy of writing. And then there is an area where you can get some writing tips. Their full course catalog is listed here. Like I said, they really only have the 3 right now. And the reading room is where you can find a bunch of articles that they've written in the past. Going back to my dashboard here, they also have a community section. And this will get you to their Discord channel and various places on the Discord channel. Or here, they actually have a place where it'll go to Spotify for music related to your writing. So if you were looking for a playlist to play while you're writing, in this case love scenes, you could just click on this. It would take you right to Spotify and into the Spotify love songs writing space. So you can listen to this while you're writing your love scenes, which could be something that's helpful if you like to listen to music while you're writing. And then they have their Twitter feed off to the side here. So even if you are not signed up for Twitter, you can still read all of their posts. And here, of course, is just direct access to their Discord channel. So quite a few things in the community to get you connected and get you to other resources about writing. So let's look at the actual heart of the program, and that is this writing section where all of your project information is listed. So here you can see I have some projects, but I can click on the projects link here and open up a list of all of the projects I have. I have 4 of them right in this section. You'll see my longest one is the one I did 4 years ago, where I actually wrote my NaNoWriMo novel here in Noveler and got 50,156 words, so I won NaNoWriMo that year. The goals section lets you create some goals, a daily goal and a monthly goal for your writing, and I'll just edit these so you can see how they work. When you bring it up, it allows you to set the number of words. You can either use the button to add 250 words at a time or take 250 words away at a time, or you can just click on it and put a specific number, 212 maybe. And you can actually pick which project you want to be writing on, or you can say all projects. I'll pick The Rose Dagger as my story I want to be writing on, and I can hit save goal, and that's my daily writing goal. And you can pick a monthly one the same way, number of words, and choose a particular project you want to work on, or just say all projects. And you always have the option of removing the goal. I'll just save that goal for now. And it shows you your writing streak. So I've written for 1 day, that is today, because I was playing around with this earlier. So that's my 1 day. Under the analytics, it shows me my word counts, how many words I actually deleted from my story, total words compared to last month. It gives some information on my writing pace and average words per chapter. And then it gives me how much time I've spent on each of my projects. So it lists all of my projects. So how does the actual writing work? So let's look at the project section, and we'll go into one of these projects. If I wanted to create a new project, I could just hit this button here to create a new project, or I could import a Word document as the starting of a new project. So let's go ahead and try that. So I'm going to look on my computer real quick for a Word document. I will drag and drop a Word document here. And I will say I'm going to create a new project from this. It's a novel. And I will import it. And now I have a new project here. So here we've imported this story called Lost House, and you'll see that there was a couple of chapters in it. And yet it imported it just as one chapter here, but you can easily take and highlight a section and say to split, and it will split out the various chapters. So this left the title here by itself. Then we get the prologue, and you can just go through and split as you move down your document. So now we have our individual chapters. And if I didn't need this title section here, I could go ahead and archive that, and then even come into the archive and delete that out of the archive. And I could take my settings and go ahead and cut that and paste it into my notes section. So that's how you would go about importing a story. If I come back here, it shows my statistics on it. There's an average of 50 words per chapter, and the whole word count is 452 words. So I can go back to my list of projects, open a different one if I wanted to. Or I could hit the create button and create a whole new story. And I have an option. I can do a novel, a short story, a poem, nonfiction, a novella, or some general writing. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with novel. I'll hit create. And it creates an empty novel here. I can go ahead and give it a name. I could add a synopsis if I knew what it was. And then I could go ahead and start creating chapters. Now it creates a chapter 1 that is empty. And I can just come in here and start writing. And if I misspell a word, I have some grammar checking here and spelling checking. So it tells me here I should probably use a comma, so I could say that, and here it is here. And if I don't like this, then I can toggle this little proofreader button off. And that way it won't show while I'm actually doing my writing. I also have the option of using this full screen mode that takes me into a larger writing space, so I'm not distracted by the browser window. I can add notes down here if I needed to add some notes. Maybe I wanted to create a list of character names. I could go ahead and start writing them here. I could hit this little plus button here to add additional chapters. Give it a chapter title. And I could start writing some more here. I could add nested chapters, or basically these would be like scenes within the story. In the planning section up here at the top, I have a list of all the chapters, and I can add synopsises for each chapter. And I can expand it to see the sub-chapters and create each scene, so explain how I'm doing these particular things. And then you'll see your statistics when you come back to the main page for your story. I can always export the novel I'm writing to a Word document. I can choose the line height I want to use, single, double, or 1.15. I can also make a PDF, an OpenOffice document, or create an EPUB. And I can also share my novel. So I can hit the share, say what chapters I want to share. And then I can copy that link. Now with the link available here, I could send it to someone and they could actually use a different browser, any browser that they like, and they could paste in the link and they will have the novel. So if I use this here, you'll see here is the chapter 1 and scene 1 that I have. Now, if by chance I decide I don't want to share this, I could come back up here and say unshare it. And then that person, next time they go there, it will say that it has been unshared, and to get in touch with the author, they still need to get access to it. So Novler has a lot to offer if you are going to go ahead and just start writing a novel. It doesn't have a lot in the way of tracking your characters or your plot line or anything like that. It is a good space though for just sitting down and writing. So if you are a pantser, something like Novler or Novel-Easy could make it easier to go ahead and write your story. You do have access to having notes, and you can drag and drop your chapters around as you need to, and your scenes as well. And when you're done, you can always export your whole story. You do have up to 5 projects for free on the free plan, or unlimited if you're paying for the yearly subscription for the plus plan. If you are ready to get rid of this story, so if I want to get rid of this, I could go to my dashboard and I could actually come here, and you'll see that you don't have the ability to delete, but you can send something to archive. And yes, I want to archive that project. Now it's archived, and Lost House is also archived. And if I wanted to restore it, if I wanted to restore one, I could come here and say restore. So their Lost House is now restored. It's back to being over here. And if I wanted to delete it, I could now delete it from the archive. So now the archive project is gone as well. So if you are using the completely free plan and only has those 5 projects, when you're done with a project, or you have a project you actually don't want to work on anymore, you can always export it down to a Word document, store it somewhere locally, and then come back and reload it later if you want to work on it at a later date, so long as you only have 5 active projects going in Novler at a time. Now you also have the ability to come into your preferences, your profile here, and you have a place where you can actually back up your projects to either Google Drive or Dropbox and sync those so that your writing gets backed up to a drive other than Novler. You have some options for how your writing looks, a light and a dark theme, or you can follow whatever your system is currently set at. So if I like the dark theme, I could go with this, which I think it's a little too dark for actually doing this type of video, so I will keep it at the light. You have your subscription information. See, I'm currently on the Plus plan here. So that is Novler, and you can sign up at novler.org if you're interested in this particular software program. This is one I will actually give a recommendation to. So if you are going to be working on a Camp NaNoWriMo or NaNoWriMo in November, then by all means you might want to try this out, try out their free version and see what you think of it. You can also try out Novel-Easy if that looks more your speed at noveleasy.com. There are links to both of these sites in the description for this video. I hope this helps you out if you are looking for some writing software, and see you back here next time when we go over some more software for under $60 for writers.